Hello, everybody. All right, this is a re-recording of another video I've already done. I have taken that video down, I've deleted that video, and I'm uploading this one because some of the things I was saying in the previous video were not actually true and accurate, and the devs actually reached out and pointed a few things out to me that I missed, which I was very grateful for because it has made the experience of this game demo much better and increased my excitement for the full release. So this is Lushfoil Photography Sim. Now there's a sim out there for just about everything these days, but I've never seen a photography sim before. And all the other sims like gas station simulator or gym simulator or anything, they're all the same thing in a different setting. This is a totally different kind of sim. When you're looking at something, an art form that can be as technical as photography, it's got to be a lot different than those other cheap looking sims that are out there. Right now, I've been a photographer for about 20 years of my life, have shot professionally, full time, don't do that anymore, but have done that previously. So when I saw this on Steam, I've had this on my wish list for a very, very long time, and just recently noticed that a demo has been released. So I was super keen to jump in and check it out. Now in the demo, we've got a few locations. You've got somewhere in Italy, Lago di Braise in Italy. We've got Castle Rock Beach in my country, Australia, over in Western Australia. And then we've got Fushimi Inari Taisha in Kyoto in Japan, which super popular. These archways and things like that, we've seen those in people's photos everywhere. It's a super popular place to go. Now, what you'll notice though, you've only got 3 minutes in the demo in the Japan map, 3 minutes in the Western Australian map, but we've got 25 minutes to explore the Italian map. But then looking forward to full release, we've got Iceland, France, Nepal, Japan, the UK, and China. Who knows? I have no idea if there's plans to expand on this and add more maps later on. I don't know if there's going to be day-night cycles. I have no idea what is planned for the full release, and I don't know when the full release is coming out. But if they're releasing the demo, I'm hopeful that it won't be too much further away, because I've had this on my wish list for a very long time. But let's jump in to the Italian map to give you guys a quick look at what's involved, and this time I'll get my information correct, unlike last time. So Matt Newell, the developer, is who reached out and commented. It's been, published by Annapurna Interactive, which I'm sure we've all heard of. So here we are. We get dropped in to the Italian map, and just look at this. Wow, the detail. This game is absolutely stunning, which, let's be honest, you would probably want to expect from what essentially is a landscape photography simulation. If it wasn't graphically gorgeous, it would be a disappointment, but this is by no means a disappointment at all. This looks absolutely phenomenal. Now, what you can do is you can jump into graphics and run a benchmark test, which we can do real quick, and we'll see what that comes out at and see if it increases my settings at all or increases the quality. But let's have a look at this. Just look at the detail. Just running through this benchmark test. Look at the detail in the foliage. Now the water dynamics, I'm going to be interested to see what the water dynamics are like. When we get up close. But I tell you, the detail in the trees and off in the mountain in the distance too was absolutely stunning. And there's some wildlife, there's birds. I've noticed birds flying around. So we might be able to do some bird photography in this as well. The soundtrack is super chilled too. This is actually going to be a very nice game for anyone that's a photography enthusiast that maybe wants just something super relaxed and chilled that you can just get lost in for a little while and explore some unbelievable scenery. Because I'll be honest, I'm certainly not in my lifetime going to get the chance to travel to all of these places and see them myself. So why not do them through this Lushfoil photography sim? Doesn't that just look absolutely stunning? Now we're back here, so let's... Okay, we've run the benchmark. I don't know if that's actually changed some settings, but it still looks absolutely fantastic. Going to the graphics, overall quality is set to max, view distance is max, upscaling's max, lighting's very high, anti-aliasing's high, V-Sync, I mean, it's not going to output that many frames anyway. I'm only outputting at 66 frames a second, so we can sort of keep it at 60. We don't really need anything more than 60 in this. It's not a fast-paced action game or anything like that. So now let's have a wander around. Let's have a look. So we walk down. It's a normal standard movement, WASD, to move around. It's very, very smooth. Left Alt gives you some little info on the controls, so you can sprint as well, just the usual sort of stuff. But we follow the path in the demo, and we will come down and find our camera. Now, one thing I'm not sure if there is plans in the future to get branded equipment and content involved. Who knows? This is just a generic non-branded camera that we pick up. So it's not, I shoot with Olympus, I've shot with Canon. I know a lot of people that shoot with Nikon, with Fujifilm. So there's a lot, obviously, of brands out there. Who knows? Maybe some brands will jump on board with this and we might get some sponsored content as well. No idea. Now, would we like a quick rundown on the camera controls? We'll say yes to show everyone what we've got. So currently we've got a zoom lens, so we can go mouse wheel in and out to zoom. And we press left control, we can switch from portrait orientation or back to landscape. And whilst looking through the viewfinder, we can press and hold E and then slide the mouse left and right. You get to play around with the angles just a little bit as well, and you can go down to crouch and you can go up. Now, one thing I don't know if there is plans for in the future, I don't know if there's going to be tripods, because one thing I have noticed is that if we want to get a low angle, if I press and hold E and come down, as soon as I let go of E, I stand back up from the crouching position. So it would be nice to be able to set your height down to wherever you want it, and then actually you've set up your frame, have it stay there. Whereas if I kind of go to take a shot, if my mouse moves, I've got to hold E and my mouse slides a little bit, it's going to skew the photo just a little bit. So who knows what we'll see in full release. That might be something else I've got wrong, and if I have, I'm sure the devs are going to let me know again. So if I have, I apologize. To draw focus, we just right click, and now what you'll see, it's drawn that line as well. So I can manually focus by holding the right mouse button and then rolling the mouse wheel up and down to set a manual focus point. And then to shoot, left click. And then space lowers the camera. Now, pardon me, we can look at the photos we've taken by pressing P. Now you'll notice these are all photos that I've taken playing around with some other little quick playthroughs, but this is the shot that I just took. You can look at your photo info, so you can get your shutter speed. It gives you all the settings that you've taken that shot with. Now we're just shooting on auto at the moment. And this is where what I said before in the previous video was incorrect. Now, I could not find a way to manually adjust my settings or my shooting modes or anything like that. So I just assumed either in the demo, we were just shooting basically on an auto setting, and it was more about exploring the environment and seeing everything else that was going on. But Matt So Matt very kindly commented and just let me know that, hey, if you actually press one of the arrow keys, up, down, left or right, you will bring up, when you're looking through the viewfinder, I should say, you will bring up what will look very familiar to anyone that is a photography enthusiast. Now, I'm not going to go through the advanced settings tutorial here. This is not going to be a photography lesson, but I'm just going to run through really quickly what we can play with. Now, when I found this, I became far more excited about this game. So we've got our shooting modes. So we can shoot in aperture priority, seems to be the default. We can go to a shutter priority, or we can go to full manual. But if we're back in aperture priority, obviously we can adjust the aperture, the f-stop, which will then in turn adjust the shutter speed to compensate and make sure that we've got a perfectly exposed image. And then if you're in shutter priority, it's vice versa. You adjust the shutter speed, the aperture changes to make sure that we get a correctly exposed image. We can play with our ISO if we want to bump that up for whatever reason. Get the shutter speed up if we're trying to find these birds that are flying around potentially. We've got a flash. I'll be interested to see what we do with the flash at full release. I haven't explored a huge amount around here. I haven't found any sort of dark areas in this map that I would need the flash for yet, but who knows? One thing that I would be absolutely pumped to see in full release would be nighttime options, so we can shoot astro, because astro shooting is one of my favorite types of photography. And maybe then we've got the options for some off-camera flash to then fill in the foreground or fill in a subject, or there's some buildings and churches and stuff around, like some buildings over there. Maybe we can use off-camera flash to fill those in and expose them correctly with a night sky. Who knows? We will wait and see. So you've got the flash, and then we've got our exposure compensations. We can bump up or down by up to 3 stops. So to get that correctly exposed image to our taste for whatever it is that we're trying to create. You can adjust your contrast up and down as well. We can adjust our white balance. We can make the shots warmer or cooler. I'm going to skip over. I'll come back and talk about the lens part in the end. We've got filters that we can apply as well if you want to get creative in that sense. And you can adjust the opacity of the filter as well. If it's a bit too strong, then you might want to pull that back a little bit, or if it's not strong enough, you can increase it to your liking. You can also change the image size, the resolution of the image, all the way down to like a small JPEG and all the way up to large file sizes, which according to the tutorial, the advanced tutorial, it will create a bit of a delay in being able to take the next shot, which obviously simulates the amount of time it takes to write a larger image file to your memory card when using a real camera. And then we can shoot in single shot, 3 or 5 shot burst as well. So I wonder, like I said, with the birds maybe, we might be able to get some burst shots of some birds flying around, get some creative aspects with that. Who knows what is planned for the full release. And then we can, if you've played around with all the settings and they're all weirded out, you can reset and get that back to, you know, effectively a baseline. Now, the lenses, like I said, we're on a zoom lens here, and it's not, from what I can tell, it's not any specific lens. It's not labeled as a 24-70 or any 24-105 or anything like that. It just seems to be a generic sort of all-rounder that you can play around with and have some fun and get creative with. It is a 1.2 at its widest, which is nice, which is very nice to have that ability to go that wide. But you're going to get some better and more creative results if we explore the other lens options, which are all primes. So first of all, we've got a fisheye if we want to get creative and do some cool stuff with the fisheye lens and get that sort of distortion on the perimeter of the shot. We can then go to a 14mm 2.8, so nice, super wide. And if we position, see that tree on the left? So we'll position that tree there on the left. And now this is at 14mm. And if I was to go back to the zoom lens. Now this is as wide as the zoom lens goes, and what you'll notice is that tree is now gone. So this is where I'm saying you'll get some better and more creative results exploring the prime lenses, because at 14mm, that's a wider shot than what you can get with that zoom lens. So just like in real photography, when we teach people real photography, don't be afraid of prime lenses and don't just default to using zoom lenses because they're easier. That can teach you to be a bit of a lazy photographer. So I love prime lenses because it forces you to move your body, move your positioning to frame up the shot that you want to get. We've also got a 24mm 1.8, a 35mm 1.2, which would be just a fantastic lens to shoot with, especially with street photography. 35mm 1.2 would be a fantastic lens in that, like a cityscape. And so I wonder if any of the maps are going to be more urban areas. Who knows? We'll wait and see. We get a 50mm 1.8. We get an 85mm 1.8, which would be a fantastic portrait lens. And then we get a 100mm 2.8. Which would be a very nice lens. Now let's do another test on the zoom lens and the 100mm, like we did with the wider lens. If I get to the zoom lens and zoom all the way in, and we're looking at that signpost, and then we go to the 100mm, you'll see we are significantly closer and more zoomed in with the 100mm. So that's the limitations of the zoom lens. But like I said, don't be afraid to play around with these prime lenses because you will get some better results. Now we can hear some water's running. So we've got some little water features here. Got a bit of a creek coming down. I wonder if we could follow that. And there's a box up there. What is that box? Is that something I can get to, I wonder? I've only just noticed that. I wonder if we can get to some waterfalls and sort of see what... oh, I'm up. What is this? Oh. What did I find? I have no idea what I just found. Some kind of collectible, I guess. Now, I wonder if there'll be any good looking like raging waterfalls that we can play around with our shutter speeds to get some, you see those really soft waterfall shots with sort of slow shutter speeds. It soften the water instead of the real harsh water movement. I'm not sure with that. I have played around with it a little bit, and it definitely does have an effect. I think it might have been here. Maybe was it here? This is sort of the closest thing I've been able to find area-wise to a waterfall. I don't know. We can go further up here. Maybe we've got... Oh, that's a lovely view, though. We've got something else here. What do we got? Paper aeroplane. What was that for? Use unlocked items with Q. Oh, you can throw... So we can throw a paper aeroplane. I like it. Yeah, that's kind of cool. It'd be funny to see how far you can get it. Can we go up any higher to see anything about this waterfall? Not exactly. So it kind of looks like... Yeah, it's not really rushing. Not really rushing through there. So we'll just go for a bit more of a wander. See what else we can find. See what else we can find and frame up. So we can run. It's nice to be able to run and not have a stamina bar to manage all the time. But it's the setting is gorgeous. The soundtrack's fantastic. Super chilled. And there's a lot, so there's so much to find, you know. There's this mountain range that you can use as a backdrop. There's this mountain over here over the lake. We've got these really nice pathways surrounded by trees. And like I said, if you do continue around, I found a church, cute little church. There's other buildings around as well. We can go down this way and head back towards the water. There might be, I think, maybe a boathouse. Here's this sign that we looked at through the viewfinder. So this might actually give us a bit more information as well. So here's some of the things. There's the church. Here are some of the things we can find. Look at these walkways with these mountains in the background. It's phenomenal. There's a little boathouse here, and you can find little the rocks stacked up. What are they? Cans? They call them cans, maybe. There's this. Oh, I haven't found that before. I don't know where that staircase is. So that's kind of nice too. So this is another thing. It's good to have these signposts around because it gives you some ideas of some places you can search out and try and find. And the maps are just so detailed. We can go across that bridge. So we've got a little bridge there. What's over there? So we've got another sort of a river that meets up with the big lake. Look at that. And then you come back. Oh. And look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. What are we shooting with? The 24mm. Take the ISO back down. What if we went to the 14mm? We go super wide with this. We want to shoot it probably at about 9.5 should be fine. We come back down here. This is absolutely stunning. Look at this. Maybe we angle up just slightly. Oh, the sun's in not a great spot for this frame, but it'll work. We get a bit of lens flare in there for creativity. Look at that. Look at that. I wonder. So you can fast travel back to your locations as well. So you can actually fast travel straight through. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about before with the slower shutter speed. So here you can see I've shot that at a pretty quick shutter speed. What have we got? 1/1000th of a second. And then if we go back to, where is it? Yeah, even that one, no, that's about the same. This one here, you can see it's zoomed in a lot more, but it is much slower. So you can see it's softened the water. So it's pretty cool that you've got that level of detail. But I guess let's be honest, if it's once again, if it's a photography sim, you kind of want that level of detail. I wonder if there's going to be the ability to remove the Lushfoil logo here from these shots, because some of these shots you're going to be able to get and use as desktop backgrounds. I wouldn't mind putting something like that on the background of my computer. But anyway, I hope that gives you a little bit of an insight into the upcoming game that is Lushfoil Photography Sim. Like I said, as a photographer, I am super pumped to check this out and play it. Even if you love the outdoors and you're a gamer, this would be a game to jump on just to be able to explore some of these places around the world and just to be able to play around and take some shots. If you're a photography enthusiast, you'll absolutely love it. I can't see a reason why a photographer would not enjoy this game. Being able to walk through here and check all this stuff out. So I'm super excited to see where they go with the development of this. Super excited to check out the other maps and see where we're at with the 1.0 release. But let's just have a real quick look before we wrap it up at the other two locations, just to give you a quick insight into those as well. So this is in Western Australia. You can see the birds flying around. I don't know how far. Like I said, you've only got 3 minutes, so there's not a huge amount of time to explore. But we're on the beach, on the coastline of Western Australia, looking out over the Indian Ocean. Got some birds flying around there. What can we do here? Go to the 100mm. Did we get them, the seagulls? And then once again, I can't see that you can change your focus mode. So I don't know if, as I said in the 1.0 release, I don't know if you'll be able to do continuous autofocus or if there'll be any kind of focus tracking or not. I'm shooting that at 1/50th of a second, which is way too slow probably to shoot birds flying around. Let's see how we go at 1/400th. I mean, it's not bad. I probably could get the focus a little bit better as well, but that's actually not too bad for a real quick look at some birding on the fly as well. So there's definitely scope for some of that sort of stuff at full release. And I have seen some videos. I think I saw a butterfly. I think I saw a still image of a butterfly at one point, which would indicate we can do some of that as well. Oh, we found some sunscreen. So there's a few, like a couple of little secret pickups and stuff as well. We've got a bunch of these rock formations. You could do some really cool and sort of creative low angle stuff with that maybe. If we were to, you know, get down lower, we need a wider lens. But, you know, coming down low and getting that with the water and the coastline would be nice. Looks like we got some paths through here. We've got about a minute left before our time on this map runs out. So my assumption would probably be that maybe this map isn't complete, which is why we've only got 3 minutes in it. So we've probably only just got enough time to have a look at the areas on the map that are complete. But as you can see, there's a lot of trails. We can go for a good walk through the trails and we find, oh, what do we find down here? Find another little beach and there's a little little tent, shade tent set up, surfboard. Hey, this is cool. Oh, stand-up paddleboard. No way. Oh my God, you can go stand-up paddleboarding out on the water. I can't pull the camera up while I'm doing that, but holy dooly. How cool is this? Look how clear the water is. Oh, this is fantastic. And it's just going to wrap it up. So, wow. So there's actually going to be a lot of cool little things in it if you can go stand-up paddleboarding. So we've been kicked out of that one. And now we get a little bit of a show there. So there's the one in Japan. But yeah, you look at the detail in this stuff is phenomenal. So it was interesting just in that little snippet that there's someone standing in that grass field. So are there going to be people in some of these maps? Are we going to be able to do some creative portraiture in the landscape environment? Who knows? Who knows what we're going to be able to do? And then just quick, let's have a real quick look at the Japanese map. Which, like I said, this is a very, very popular location. So, and some people watching this might have actually been to this location as well. So it might bring back some nice fond memories of trips of the past. Who knows? Oh, look at that Iceland on the right there. That's going to be a fantastic map. So here we are in the archway. So we can go either way. It gets a bit darker down that way. We can head up the mountain through this way. So you can, the brain goes crazy with all the different angles and higher angles, low angles that you could shoot in here. It looks amazing. And then we get a bit of a map as well, which will give us a bit of an indication on where else we can go. Where are we? I can't see a "you are here" spot. So I'm not exactly sure where we might be, but we can go down. I've gone up the mountain a little bit further before. I haven't gone down here though. What have we got down here? Oh, look at this bridge. Look at this stone bridge. That could be a fantastic subject for some shots. We've got a Japanese building. We've got more of these things. Look at that. Even just here, even that angle there, just a shot there would be fantastic. Got a building there. There's so many places and ways to go. We can come up here. We've got a heap of bamboo. So many options. So many options. Head down here through the bamboo. Look at this. It's absolutely stunning. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if there'll be a day-night cycle so we can get sunrise, sunset, astro, get different lighting conditions on each map. And here we go. Speaking of whether there's going to be some more urban areas, we got a little bit of a Japanese town here that we can explore and get some cool shots through as well. Look at that. Oh. The possibilities for this game are phenomenal and almost endless. So that is the Lushfoil Photography Sim demo. Heaps more maps coming with full release. Hopefully it's not too far away. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Stick it on your wish list and we'll see what it's like when it comes out. But thanks for watching.